the eUnited Invitational. That's going to be coming up August 11th and 12th, where we're going to invite some of the best Smite pros here and then mix things up. They're not going to be on their same squad as normal. And you're also going to get to see, unfortunately, some of us here at hi-rez go up against the pros, and that match is going to go exactly the way that you expect it to. Plenty of tears going to be coming out, so make sure you check that event out. We'll be there. The pros are going to play against each other as well for a big fun weekend.
eUnited versus Athletico, the Australian representation. That's what we're going to get into just about now. We just saw Space Station Gaming take the victory. eUnited, the defending world champions. We'll see if they're able to do the same thing. I'm here joined by Anatoly Alexeyev. How you doing, bud?
Doing very good. I think that these North American teams are looking to play solid. Space Station Gaming stepped it up in game number 2, considering of how careful they did in game number 1. The way they ended that last one, 21 minutes into the game, they're feeling confident, and I think eUnited always play confident.
Yeah, eUnited came into this one, like I said, I was hanging out with the boys during the last set, and definitely strong, definitely feeling like they're ready to go. Coach Cardiac, certainly a big part of what they're able to do. They were talking about compositions, they were talking about itemization, and a lot of fun stuff coming out from these guys, as per usual. I think they're always expected to be just one of the stronger teams.
And considering the way the first 2 sets went, a lot of these teams, or at least to my knowledge or opinion, is that they're hiding stuff. This is not like what they're going to be running in days 2 and forward.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the preliminary stages. A lot of times these teams kind of feel like we already know who's going to win. And as I said, the Latin American and Brazilian representation are definitely a little bit more of a bump in the road than some of the other guys. So Black Dragons have to watch out. Athletico on the come up. One of the newer teams here. Certainly going to be interesting watching them do their thing. These 5 guys have been strong and fun to watch. They're going up against eUnited, though. I mean, what's your take on the red, white, and blue?
They looked very confident when I was speaking with them in my interview, where I interviewed them alongside Rival, and I think that they took that spring split loss to heart. I think that they're going to be able to bounce back from that and transition very well, considering of how dominant they performed in North America, being able to just finish the first seed and come here in this land. I think that they have high hopes.
That's what Toly says. Let's hear what the team says.
All right, joined now by the defending champs. Guys, look, everyone expects you to go in and beat Athletico, but what have you seen from them? What are you trying to prep for, what they've shown?
Kind of like what most of the other teams have said. If we are just going to try and focus on our picks and try and play our style of game and, look to come out with a clean sweep like that, or a clean sweep like that. We didn't really see many of their VODs or anything like that. And we're just trying to play our game.
So coming out as number 1 seed of North America here to this land, obviously spring didn't go as well as you guys probably hoped for. Is there anything that's changed between that land and this land that you think may be different for eUnited as a team?
Yeah, I think a lot has changed in terms of God picks and meta in general. In spring split, we just weren't feeling completely as confident as a team as we wanted to be, and I think that kind of showed going into LAN. But right now, I'm more confident in this team, or I'm as confident pretty much as at Worlds. I think we're prepped to win this LAN.
Yeah, we're like way more confident now in like what we pick and like how we understand the meta. So should be good.
Benji, everyone was talking about you during Worlds. It was you and Deathwalker, but Aquarius has kind of stolen your spotlight in the summer. I mean, how do you feel about all the talk about how well he's done, and do you feel like you want to come in and prove that you're still the best?
He's really good, and I have a lot of respect for him. I mean, it's a team game, so like having a best is kind of, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it would be nice to be like respected as the best, so that's the goal.
Final question then, who do you think is your biggest opposition here at this land this time?
I think it's always going to be Rival.
Yeah, definitely Rival.
They a specific reason?
They got the best of us last LAN, and we just would like to prove it to them because they're kind of cocky sometimes, and them saying we didn't really deserve Worlds, kind of gets to you a little bit. So we'd like to have our chance at them again.
I mean, you're land Krakens and you can talk, right? Anyway, congratulations. Get this far. Good luck at the tournament the rest of the day.
I said before that one when Benji was walking in, I was like, I want more than 5 words from you, Benji. And I guess we got about 7. But you know what it is? Benji has a lot of personality that doesn't always come through. Did you catch that at the end when Hindu Man made the crack about Wolfie's Kraken? He was like, hit the Kraken and then you can talk. Benji was like, yeah, that too. That's Benji. Benji is a competitive guy, and although he doesn't seem like it on the outside, this guy is one of the more competitive dudes around. I love the way he answered the question, about being the best. Gave us the political answer, but at the end he was like, yeah, I want to be the best.
I mean, he definitely shows it at signs. Ever since his time with Enemy in Season 2, the way he was able to perform at Super Regionals, transition that into World, I think a lot of that Enemy roster was relying on Benji to perform well. And even during Season 4 and Season 5 with PBM, whenever PBM had an interview and we asked him specifically, like, what does it take for you guys to win? Well, it's like, Benji, we kind of carry him online. And then he just kind of carries us on land. So we'll see which Benji shows up today.
Yeah, it's going to be certainly an interesting one, whether it's going to be Healer Benji, Cucullin Benji, certainly a lot of options for eUnited and the defending world champs. Athletico, though, representing Australia, the black and yellow. These guys are very, very interesting. We don't really know too much about them, so why don't we go have a conversation?
Guys, welcome in. Is this your first time coming to America here for this LAN?
Yep, first time at LAN for both of us actually, so yeah, pretty excited.
You guys are going up against eUnited, the defending world champions. What are you expecting from them other than just playing very well?
Well, they're very experienced. Obviously, they've won Worlds and they've just they're top seed of NA, so we just got to play our game, take it slowly, try our best, exactly, yeah.
So you guys have had a chance to see some of your fellow comrades from your country come out to this LAN before, and what's your expectations? What's the plan for Athletico this LAN? Coming into it, what was the game plan? What's your mentality? What's the overall goal from this LAN?
We want to win. That's it. We need to get a win for the boys, so we're going to try the first win, and we're going to get it.
Yeah, we are.
A lot of the talk in your region was about Bang the Drum and that team when they came together with, Husey coaching and just because of his pedigree and that kind of stuff. What do you think made you guys so dominant in your region? Because you ran away with that region in the summer.
Well, I think just our group's really together, and we always take criticism from everyone, and we always get better no matter what. We practice as much as we can, and Husey's just a meme, so yeah. Pretty easy.
I agree with that one. On to the next question then. Obviously, you guys are United, as Ryan was saying earlier on. Any specific game plans, anything unusual? Is it just you guys are going to play your game and try and play against them? Or
play our game.
There's nothing extra special planned, or you've done your research and your homework, that's about it?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I'd also like to put in the record that I agree that Husey is a meme for what it's worth. If for those of our fans who aren't as familiar with how you guys play, how would you describe your team's play style?
We're very aggressive. We love killing everyone. Aggressive. This guy W's everyone.
So any key I have on my keyboard.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, excited to see how well it works against eUnited, and good luck, guys.
Thank you. Cheers.
Love these guys. Really funny. Just kind of standing up there. And I, too, would like to let you guys know that I agree. Husey's a meme.
There's a lot of memes in all of Smite.
Anytime I get to call somebody else a meme, I'm down. Totally.
There's not many more memes than the person sitting right next to me.
I'm not a meme.
I will never forget the alignment chart that Kelly made. I don't know if it was season 1 or whenever it was made, where I think it was Eris was chaotic evil. I remember that much. And then I remember you right under him because you weren't in the alignment chart. You weren't like, neutral, chaotic good, or none of that. You're just meme.
Yeah, I remember Kelly doing that too. I try to forget every day. But hopefully Athletico can remember how they got here. Don't forget, Athletico, top of their region, top of the crop as far as Australia is concerned. Let's see them go head-to-head versus eUnited. The red, white, and blue representing North America. And I do want to say, kind of outside of gaming, looking at the left side of the screen, Athletico really have come to play as far as everything's concerned. I've spoken to Cutie Pie before. He's a cool guy on Athletico. And the jerseys, the jackets, these guys are pulling all the stops as far as the organization is concerned. Hopefully the gameplay can match.
I mean, look good, smell good, feel good, right? Play good, potentially. Yep. After that, we'll see how they stack up against the world defending champion. Already going for an Artemis ban, trying to focus out PandaCat, but eUnited wanted to strip away some mobility, taking away the Giannis, knowing that Venenu still has quite the arsenal behind him.
Right. Don't forget, Athletico, not a lot of VODs available for eUnited, so their ability to do their homework a little bit less there. And eUnited, Coach Cardi definitely wasn't happy about that, but they were talking, this is an example, this is an opportunity to just kind of focus internally and also look to get better at adapting mid-set. They want to be able to take game one just as it is, figure out what went wrong and right, and then bring game two back into it.
Whenever you go against a group of 5 players where you don't have research available to you, you just ban away gods that you would rather not have them first pick, or that you would rather not deal with. So some mid laners, a lot of range between those two, the Thoth and the Giannis. Venenu, keep in mind, he loves the Discordia, but more importantly than that, loves the Morrigan.
Yeah.
Not too many Morrigan players, at least in North America. In Europe, there's definitely zeros.
Well, right here, zero's the player, not zero the number. Look at the Terra ban, and Zhong will be left open. The Demon Queller has shown his face. We'll see if Athletico is able to really wrestle this guy. He's one of the better gods in the world, in my opinion. So we'll see if Athletico can really make it happen. But I want you to talk to me about this Terra ban. This is a we've seen you PBM ban, or is it just strong?
It has a lot of control. It's the Earth and Fury. Now, if you're not going to first pick the Terra, then you go ban it away. Because immediately after, eUnited will not hesitate. The Earth and Fury was a huge impact in the last set where we saw Space Station Gaming's Jeff Hilla perform very well on that pick. Left a very interesting pick with the Ares from Nocturnes, and I think eUnited are more comfortable with the Athena anyway.
Yeah, Athena, Chernobog, global presence abound for eUnited. Chernobog, one of the Eastern European gods. Max PandaCat, one of the Eastern European representation as well. So kind of a dig back to his roots, I suppose.
I see what you're doing here, Tom.
Oh, what am I doing?
You're memeing.
How am I memeing?
Digging into the roots, Eastern European. I'm Eastern European as well, and all this stuff. Make the connections.
I wasn't even. Yes, you and Max are both Ukrainian. That's not what I was going for.
And then you're saying digging into your roots as if I wasn't in Dignitas or Root Gaming as well.
I didn't even remember you played for Root. I'm not even kidding.
Okay.
You're memeing yourself here, Anatoly.
Anyway.
Zhong needs 2 more characters next to him.
Global presence is a good thing. Not allowing eUnited to get the trifecta of it.
I like that.
Picking up the Ratatoskr means that there could be a lot of pressure wherever the Zhong goes. Still left up in the air if that's mid lane Zhong or solo.
Also, the Jing Wei, we do mention it, but it's semi-global presence, right? You do have to back and make your way back to the lane, so it's not exactly a Giannis or a Chernobog ult, but she certainly can rotate quicker than some of the other hunters.
Trying to make the next pick for eUnited.
Why not Apollo, actually, if they're looking for globalization?
I mean, if you're looking, I think it's really spicy to go Apollo at this point in the game. Now, it's something that Basket would potentially do, feeling very confident. Speaking of like spicy picks and knocks, like that already eliminated that thought in my mind. Apollo is not one of your safest gods because it takes a little while to channel that ability. You're left like a sitting duck. But global pressure versus global pressure, I definitely like Apollo into Chernobog because that's your best opportunity to be able to chase him down across the map.
Nox here going to be silencing people out all day. Venenu has been very effective in the middle lane, and his god pool has been eclectic. You mentioned before that he played the Morrigan. Not many players play the Morrigan. He's brought out a lot of these oddball mid lane picks. So, Nox, spicy, sure, but why?
It's the silence. The combination of Zhong wanted to get off the 1-2 combo. If you could just silence Rumen in place, force the purification beads, all of a sudden the Zhong is not going to have that defensive relic, or even just stop him in his tracks. Once he pops the ultimate, he's going to be looking to get closer to you, looking to stun you, and if you could just disrupt even one of his 4 abilities from comboing, that could be the difference of Athletico winning a team fight or having to retreat.
The Aussie is going to ban out Cullen. Makes sense. Benji, World's Finals MVP, has a skin on the character. I think that's representative of how strong he is. The Nemesis ban as well. PolarBearMike, though, happy about this one. two Guardian bands, and they lock in Scream's Thanatos.
Now, they did make the Kukulkan skin after him, but wasn't it Venenu that got that World's MVP after the fact?
Actually, you're right. You are correct. My mistake. Venenu, World's MVP. I guess I felt some way different.
But you still got to tip your hat to the solo laner making remarkable plays with the Kukulkan, which is why they did still nominate him for the skin. Just being able to 1v3, 1v4, even against all 5 members at times, even at Worlds.
Yeah. Thanatos, an interesting selection. Obviously, a character close to my heart. If you follow me off stream, this is an interesting character. And although I like him a lot, it's interesting. Zhong has heals, and I think that execute characters into healing is a little bit rough. But Zhong, I think, is an exception. His healing is very obvious, and there's a lot of setup to it. And that's really, it's the Guan Yu heals, the instant quick ones that kind of throw you off. You go to the sky.
Yep.
Oh no, you're above threshold. Zhong's a little bit different, so he's going to be able to work with it, and Thanatos is a great way to take care of Zhong because he's so tanky. Thanatos works well at killing tanks with executes.
Having a lot of penetration once you max out that second ability to eliminate some of that passive effect that Zhong has, really relying on that 40 protection. But Cerberus and Morrigan, last 2 picks from Athletico, but look at this. Naja for eUnited, a double assassin draft.
I don't think Scream expected that. It looked like Scream looked over and went, what did you just pick?
That has to be Benji's. If Scream is thinking like that means Thanatos is going to the jungle.
Right.
And Naja certainly going to be for Benji. And I like this pick. Yeah, he's smiling already between these 2 players. I think Scream is like, you sure about this? And Benji's like, yeah, I got it.
Probably. Hats off to Athletico, though, for picking up the Morrigan, right? Making sure to take this away from Venenu if that's the direction he's going. Nox in the middle lane, not necessarily guaranteed when you're playing against eUnited, I guess.
Maybe not, I guess, considering that I think that some of these non-international teams are still hiding some of their legitimate strategies. So maybe we would have seen Nox support, Athena, solo, Chernobog for PandaCat. So it was still a lot of questions to be answered.
Naja here, certainly an interesting choice. We have seen the tanky Naja many times, actually. I think historically, eUnited comes to mind, but most recently, Deathwalker brought it out in the solo lane.
And the thing is, the Windfire Wheel, Zhong uses Recall Demons. You bring them up in the sky, and then those ghosts aren't hitting anyone.
Yeah, no, this is my example that I use all the time. When I talk about Naja's ability to flicker players out of the game, you go and you just remove a character from the game. The damage almost irrelevant sometimes. Listen, you're not going to do a lot of damage to a fully stacked Zhong, especially if he's ulting. But as soon as he ults back, and then Zhong just gone. Who's going to win? Simple as that. That's what I ask you guys out there in Mixer chat. Totally, you got a coin toss? All right. Totally thinks it's that simple. Graham, aggro, bring us game number 1.
Well, so far today for the international regions, it has been a little bit awkward. Quick pause at the start of this one. Myself and Aggro will be on the call. And Aggro, how are we looking?
We're looking pretty good, especially if you're an eUnited fan, because this draft is going to be hard to deal with and also weird at the same time. And I think that this is, we were talking about it with the energy game. You've got 2 options whenever you're going up against a team that you feel like you should be able to beat, and that's you either throw crazy things at them in order to confuse the rest of the pack whenever you go up against the teams that you expect to play later on, or you just play everything that you're known to play. Thanatos solo is that weird thing that now people are going to be like, maybe we should worry about this.
Lot of global pressure then, or at least semi-global pressure coming out from eUnited here as well. With the Chernobog and Athena, that combination can be pretty dangerous. But not only that, with the Thanatos semi-global too. So lots of people able to get off the map and untargetable for a period of time.
Don't forget, Nox as well can enter into Athena or into Chernobog with that dash and then join them on their ride across the map. So you're going to get sometimes 3 people showing up very quickly.
And now Athletico then today. I mean, we got a chance to interview Athletico beforehand. Confident. I think they're after that first win. You know, that's what Australia's real goal is. All the Australian fans the same. They just want to get a win under their belt.
You know, we were talking about it earlier, like in between the last 2 games, and it feels like to me that Athletico, you know, they're a lot of the new kids on the block. They kind of took the region by storm very quickly, and they look really good. Don't get me wrong, but this is their first opportunity to play against the best in the world, and they've dominated their region. I don't think they lost a game during the summer split.
And this might be their wake-up call to how, they've seen their Oceania representatives before come with high or medium expectations and then fall a little bit short. And they're like, we're going to be a little bit different, but this is their first chance. This is their first opportunity to prove it, and I wonder how well it's going to go.
They're the big fish in the pond of Australia, but in the grand scheme of the world, well, they're looking a little bit more like minnows here, and they've got to do a little bit more work today up against eUnited. If they don't manage to find the victory here in the best of 3, they do go down to the lower bracket, though, so they're not completely out.
Now, if there is a team, I mean, we heard Energy after their set say, we kind of started trolling a little bit in Game 2. Yeah. If there's a team who might not take you as seriously as they should,
oh, for sure,
this is probably the one.
Most certainly.
This is probably the one that you can sneak a game by if they aren't coming prepared and mentally ready.
For Athletico, though, this is just a chance. There's nothing for them to technically prove. No one's expecting anything out of them, so they just have no weight really on their shoulders, in my eyes, of like any expectation. They've seen multiple Australian teams come out before that were unable to find anything.
Right.
So if that doesn't happen for them, no problem. We've seen it before. But if they do, then they're the talk of the town.
Exactly. And I think that would be my mindset going in if I were playing on Athletico. Like, hey, man, no one else has done it, so no one really expects us to do it. But at the same time, I don't know. I got the impression during their interview, like, they do feel some pressure to win for Australia, and that they really want to represent the OCE region very well here at this LAN.
Look at that. Look at Screammmmm is set up there with that angled keyboard. It's always interesting to see how people set up their keyboards and mice when they play. Into the game we go, though. We're going to follow along with Oscha real quick for a second on the Zhong Kui. Going to start with the Warrior's Blessing. Same for Benji, too. Sorry about the small technical issues. I'm going to blame the fact that Scream can't get his keyboard in front of him properly.
Scream looks like he's all sorted. I don't think that's a fair blame.
I'm
down to blame Scream for stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I want it to be like at least believable,
That's true. That's true. I just wonder if he plays with the arrow keys, because there's been a few players that have done that in the past previously. I know when I ever...
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah. Jing, once upon a time, he's played with the arrow keys.
Oh, yeah, because he had all his abilities on his mouse.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been some interesting ones of where people... Well, he's also left-handed, I believe, and likes why he likes to switch it up.
Did he play with a left-handed mouse?
I don't think so.
I'm left-handed, and I would never play with a left-handed mouse. Like you just gotta adapt. Lefties out there alongside me. I understand that the world is against us all the time. Scissors don't work properly. You get like ink all over the side of your arm when you're writing. It's tough out there for you. But don't break in and use that left-handed mouse. That's them winning, and we don't want that.
We can go back to the 60s where you beat people, because that's what they used to do to me. You use the right hand. Anyway. We're stalling. Apologies for the technical issues. Obviously, the players are getting themselves ready. We're going to go to a very quick wait screen while they get themselves ready. It shouldn't be more than a matter of moments. If it is, I'll be back to apologize some more. I do that really well. I'm English. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back. Apologies for the technical issues, but we're on the way. It's the third set of the day. Athletico representing Oceania, the #1 team there, up against North America's #1 team. This split so far, and... well, current world champions.
That's right. eUnited, that's a good team to go up against in your first round, for sure.
First actual year, we're going to have 2 world champions, so eUnited technically could have the shortest reign of world champions ever.
They could, yes, because we normally have HRX in January. This year, it's at Atlanta's DreamHack in November.
I thought you forgot which city it was in.
No,
I was about to say, there's a few issues there.
That would have been pretty bad. Go to hi-rezexpo.com in order to buy your tickets.
Good job. Benji will be playing this Thanatos. Do we expect focus on the Thanatos this game?
I think that Benji's just trying to do it by himself. I think that he's trying to make sure that Scream doesn't need to come over and give him any help, but I do think that Scream will be over here, especially with Oscha picking up the Aegis. I don't know how much that helps him in this spot, Grim. I really don't. I mean, you're either getting sashed ulted by Naja, or you need the sprints to create some distance, whatever it may be. I don't know that I love the Aegis pickup.
This is one game, though, that looking at eUnited's composition here, that this is a game that Athletico could win based off the fact that United require a lot of mechanics for this comp to come together. Nox skill shot heavy, same for Naja. To an extent, same for Thanatos too. You struggle with any of those abilities, and there's windows where Athletico can abuse them because of the difficulty of these gods.
Very much so. Those are probably 3 of the most difficult gods in their roles. I mean, Thanatos playing a little bit off-roll here on the solo lane, but still, you understand my point. And that is, I think, intentional. by eUnited. You want to use this game to get a rhythm going and understand, okay, different environment a little bit, though they were here during the spring. Let's just try and get comfortable and get back to where we're used to playing, and this can do that.
Morrigan in the mid lane for Addons as he does get hit by that sash, looking for the stun. Scream's in trouble. One hit could do it, but the minion wave's just going to slow them down. All abilities on cooldown from Athletico. I was just about to mention the fact that we see a Morrigan here anyway.
Yeah, it's a different pick, but I think that I really like it here from Athletico because, again, you have to, in these sorts of situations where you're expected to be the underdog and you're fighting an uphill battle, I think that picking high pressure early on and trying to get massive leads that are difficult to throw is a really good way to find victories. You could also try and play for the opposite and play for the long game and just draw it out with super late game picks, but when we see teams do that, they usually just lose in the first 25 minutes, so it doesn't usually work out that much. This is all about Ratatoskr ultimate from Tekzy and Addons adding in a second Ratatoskr ultimate. Problem is, eUnited's awfully familiar with this strategy. They did it a lot at Worlds, at themselves.
Yeah, there's definitely two interesting things as well from this Morrigan pick. First of all, got to avoid the silence out from Venenu, because even through the stealth, you'll be brought out of stealth by that silence for sure. But not only that, the combination of Nausea and Nox, if one of them can find the CC, the other one can easily follow up. Ooh. Shank trying to follow up onto that damage of PolarBearMike, but first blood goes to PandaCat. However, round the back come Tekzy looking at PBM, who's getting spun on, and he will dash away to safety.
PBM picked up a horrific emblem for himself and used it there to create some distance with Tekzy, who I do not like leading with the dash in that spot because you have the element of surprise. There was no minions coming from behind him. There were no wards. Just get up close and lead with the stun. That way, whenever PBM inevitably dashes away, you can dash after him and get that slow. And maybe that would have gotten a kill for Athletico.
Oscha on this right-hand side, playing the Zhong. He has the Aegis at the start, but getting it invaded on his blue buff here. Screams on the rotation too for the extra experience and stolen away the first objective of the game. Left-hand side, though, an invasion here too.
Zaze should have agility up soon, and there it goes, but this duo lane is just absolutely dominant right now for eUnited. And that's no surprise. This has been, I prepare now for the ongoing shame of the fans. This has been the best duo lane in NA for a long time. It really had. They've just dominated duo lanes pretty much consistently throughout. Jeff and Barra, of course, have their great moments, but consistency-wise, if I have to win a lane and I'm playing in North America, I'm picking these two.
And it's actually what happened at the start of this game too. I mean, PolarBearMike just started off with the Guardian's Blessing and potions and maybe a couple of wards, that's about it. Went for the Chalice more than anything else here at the beginning, which is not necessarily unusual, but normally we see the boots. It was Mike who was the one that pushed people away from the Thebes rush that we saw once upon a time.
Yeah, but no boots either, and no upgraded relic. That's the big thing. Is normally when you see just Guardian's Blessing, then you'll see an upgraded sprint alongside it. Sometimes you'll see meditation, but then you'll usually see a bunch of extra potions alongside of it. This horrific is kind of interesting to me as Addons finds Venenu in the mid lane with help from Tekzy's ultimate. Both ultimates used there in mid and jungle. Well done by Athletico to claim their first kill on international soil.
Was Addons using the Morrigan ultimate to, use PolarBearMike to his advantage. Double drop more than anything with Tekzy. So he spoke about, the global presence that eUnited are going to have. It's given a little bit of that presence to Athletico because they have this Morrigan.
Exactly, and you have so much flexibility now as PandaCat going to use Living Nightmare just to get in lane, but Zaze doesn't have his ultimate. This is literally using your ultimate as a teleport.
I have a feeling this is the lane that we're going to see a little bit more often this land, which is Chernobog versus Jing.
Yep.
Jing able to get back very quick, and I believe we'll see Chernobog's doing the same sort of thing against each other. Shank going to get toward the jungle by Mike, and Mike stunned in place, looking for an escape route, finds it towards mid, but it doesn't look like they're done yet. Tekzy goes to the sky, and actually he's going to find Venenu potentially. Nope, back to Mike. Good knock-up. Follow-up was there from Addons, just not enough damage.
Ben kind of puts himself in a weird spot here. Beads used by Tekzy after Scream sash, and that ring bounce does reveal Addons.
Scream looking towards Addons in the mid lane, who turns around towards Scream. But Scream beads and ult straight away. The follow-ups, no one's there. He's on his own at the moment. Can't find the kill on Addons. And Tekzy's going to get a kill. Oceana up 2-1 against eUnited, but still down on gold.
Still down on gold. eUnited playing the map much better with their invades on the right-hand side. But that's twice now that Scream has played unreasonably aggressive in the mid lane. I mean, it was level 2 where he has to use his beads because he walks right up to a Morrigan Ratatoskr in the early game, and they're just underestimating his own damage in that spot.
or Venenu didn't have the ultimate. I think that's what he was expecting. Maybe he got body blocked. I didn't see it come, and Venenu still has it up with only 10% CDR from the boot, so I don't think Ven used his ultimate there. Maybe that was a breakdown of communication. Maybe Ven was distracted. I don't know.
I just don't think he could get in range because there was too many targets around him that could have caused him some issues. Talking about issues, Shank under pressure, but pulls Mike under the tower. Still, though, by hovering in place like he would do with that ultimate, just allowed PandaCat to whittle away his health bar and find himself his second kill of the game.
Man, already level 8 now for PandaCat. Benji under pressure now, and he's got to use Hovering Death just to get himself away. I like the pressure that Tekzy's putting on the map.
I'm really about to say the same thing. I think Tekzy and Addons are actually doing really well, making this rotation wherever possible, just trying to keep the pressure going. Tekzy now coming to this right-hand side, going to meet Screammmmm. He's actually going for the kill, but Screammmmm, not sure he was spotted out. They're still going for Benji. Good sash from Screammmmm, but the ghosts are about, and Oscar's going to get one, but gets taken to the sky, and PandaCat with the global rotation turns up. Oscar's still alive, but takes a tower shot. PandaCat could be up for his 4th kill. Double kill for the Hunter.
That was close, but man, PandaCat just got fed 2 more kills. He's now 4-0. He's got every kill so far for eUnited, and that is just not a very good dive there by Athletico. I mean, I don't know why PBM didn't ult on to Benji there to give him some extra protection and turn that into a 4-on-2.
His ult was on cooldown,
underneath the tower, was it? Okay, so that's why we didn't see PBM head on over. But still, I mean, even with PBM's ult on cooldown, you've got that ultimate from PandaCat, which ended up really proving too much.
I think the call's good if you just knew whether or not Screammmmm was there. If Screammmmm wasn't there, that was a great call to go for that gank on the right-hand side, but Screammmmm...
But Tekzy saw Screammmmm. Tekzy saw Screammmmm right before he took to the sky, and they must have figured that they had the opportunity.
Oh, Zaze got punished so hard by that level 6 to the level 9 out of PandaCat, and that's one of the reasons that burst impacts so much more painfully, especially with the additional extra power from those boots and the extra stacks from those Devourer's Growls.
Doesn't it feel like, you know, with these weird picks in mid, jungle, and solo, PBM and PandaCat are like, okay, if you guys are going to troll, we're just going to have to win this game. Like, in that, all the lead that eUnited has been in the duel lane.
I don't even think it's Mike. I actually just think it's PandaCat that's like, listen, guys, whatever you do, I'm just going to play Chernobog and show how good he can really be.
Showing off that he's not going to be getting through too often.
Well,
right now to eUnited at least.
Hunting down Addons in the jungle, but he will slip away just in time. Zaze on the left-hand side has to be careful, as does Shank, who gets taunted in. Heavy burst early, ultimate out from Shank, beads by PandaCat, and a couple of basics, and there's not a whole lot that support can do in that situation.
No jump available, so he ends up falling very quickly, and this is, for as well as Tekzy and Addons have done thus far, Shank has definitely struggled in understanding just how easy it is for eUnited to pick him apart.
I think that's Cerberus, though, in the support role more than anything else. We've seen him a lot in the solo lane that does very well for himself. But in the support, he's a little lackluster in the early game. This is going to get out of hand quick, and all these kills are on eUnited. There might be a chance that somebody else in eUnited gets a kill, but at the moment, PandaCat wants them all for himself.
6-0 right now. My goodness, that was a lot of damage. And look at this.
This is what I mean.
He chases Tekzy all the way down. Now, he is completely out of mana here, but still has that increased movement speed from Living Nightmare.
Addons, though, going to transform into his teammate in the Ratatoskr. Knock-up is good. Stun is good, too. Where's the follow-up from his rest of his team, though? Addons has to get away and dodges the ult from Venenu. PandaCat's still fine. They don't find the kill whatsoever as eUnited going very deep, very early into Athletico's jungle.
And that's where the trolling comes into play a little bit, it feels like, for eUnited. But when you've got a level 10 Hunter at this point in the game, you're kind of allowed to get away with things like that.
Left-hand side, Mike going to contest this purple on his own. Nobody else really around. Just looking for a cheeky steal if he can find it with a reach. Won't be this time round. Shank and Zaze will get their own purple.
First purple they've gotten in what feels like an eternity, because
9 minutes, 57 seconds.
That is where eUnited has been all game long right there. And PandaCat gets one red buff, then the other. And you should just be feeding PandaCat red buffs at this point, because he has the potential to 2v1 almost with ease.
Really liking Tekzy and Addons so far this game now. Like, even though this game hasn't gone great so far for Athletico in the first 10 minutes, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of this team. They're not scared to play. I think maybe looking back now at how things are going, Cerberus may not have been the right pick here more than anything else. That's the one that's been struggling a little bit, and that's mainly just because the amount of damage he's going to be taking in this laning phase.
Exactly, and he's not great at those quick CC bursts. He wants to try and chase you down with that ghastly breath. And keep on you a little bit, the extended engagements, and PandaCat just kills him before that engagement gets extended whatsoever.
One of the classic issues with the Guardian is the early game. Benji surrounded by 3 here, got aggressive, still thinking about it, looking towards Shank instead. Tries to dunk down onto the Rat, but the Rat was already up and hovering on his branches, looking to Venenu as Oscha comes in here, gets aggressed on by Scream at the same time.
Now it's all Zhong all by himself.
Oh,
Aegis
help
did
him.
a lot of damage, but that isn't going to help at all.
Panda got it again!
Panda got it again. The last hit king so far this game. 7-0.
He just wants to fight everyone. Look at his face in the bottom right. He's really focused on just murdering as many people as possible. Addons trapped
Oh,
with
Addons,
tier
no.
1. Gonna go and get a bit of poke out. Venenu drops the silence. And the damage could be here. The ghosts are out.
No.
Venenu slammed to the face.
No.
With that ultimate.
No. You don't get to take that fight 2-on-1. PBM going to find that taunt onto Zaze. Beads were there, but Shank immediately gets comboed.
And now the tier 1 tower down on the left, the pressure on the mid lane. Tekzy's just trying to clear out creeps, and eUnited have decided that the tier 1 towers aren't Athletico's anymore. They're theirs. They're going to hold the line just before the tier 1 towers, and the minions can't even get there themselves.
You called it. This is getting ugly quickly.
It is.
eUnited, because eUnited isn't the type of team that's just gonna, do everything by the book to get their victory in the optimal amount of time. They're gonna toy with you a little bit. They're gonna have their fun, and that's what it feels like is happening right here.
At the same time, though, at least they're not being too brutal and just farming Gold Fury on cooldown and waiting until 30 minutes before ending the game.
Sure.
They're going with the pedal to the metal. They've taken another kill onto Shank now. Addons is up against 4, and into the sky goes Benji looking for the dunk. He's probably going to go for it too. It wouldn't really surprise me. Early beads. The beads were still good, though. And Addons did a very good job there of surviving, if I do say so myself. He's done okay for himself. His tier 2 tower, though, different story.
Chase onto Venenu by Tekzy, but Ven's dash was up, and PandaCat is there, but Zaze here to assist as well. Taunted into the damage from Ven, and eUnited get another kill.
And you can see how eUnited just started to collapse immediately. They realized they were running huge in the early game. PandaCat was a monster, so why not just group up and protect the Hunter at all times? And Panda's really playing aggressive, overly so, in most respects, and not being punished for it at the moment.
eUnited, it just smells blood right now. It's if this is a boxing match, they hit their opponent in the stomach, and they could see him wobbling a little bit, and they're just all reckless abandon, form be damned. They're just going it for the kill right now.
Venenu could be in trouble, has to beads and jump into Mike, who dashes away. The ghost still applied, but there's no further gap. PandaCat is back, though, looking for his 9th kill of the game. Zaze in the air to get away as PandaCat takes the tower. Benji would like a kill, please, but PolarBearMike says, not today, Benji. That one's mine.
My reach, my kill. Thank you very much. Mid-Phoenix, the option now for eUnited. No creeps here, and PBM not very tanky, specifically to physical with his build.
In goes Shank, looking to slow them down, but silence rooted in place, and Benji will finally pick up a kill now. The Phoenix being focused, Scream split pushing the tier 2 on the right-hand side, and Athletico, the comms are very silent at the moment. You can see by their faces, the heads have dropped, as you'd expect.
Yeah, this is demoralizing.
What needs to be different? What really went wrong here?
Ban Chernobog. Thank you very much.
Is that all it is?
At least in this game, yeah. PandaCat just won this game for eUnited. Him and PBM, their pressure was just way too much.
Still aggressive going eUnited. Benji picks up the kill onto Zaze at the back line here. Fighting Addons and Shank at the same time as poor old Oscha just trying to keep his Phoenix alive. Shank's going to come and help him out now, but Scream's out of mana, so he can't find the kill. Benji with a scythe could, but Benji's going to fall to Addons. The comeback is on.
Benji gets baited there underneath the mid-Phoenix, which stands, by the way.
That's what I'm saying, comeback's on now.
It is?
If they get Gold Fury.
That would put them within 9K?
Yeah.
Comeback's on. Here we go.
I mean, technically, if the graphs change, that is a comeback. Whether how small, how big, it is a comeback.
That is true. You are technically correct.
That's all it's about, is being technically right.
There are a lot of those types of people who are like, yeah, I'd rather be technically correct than anything else.
I'm never just technically correct, though. I'm just correct. Just the way life is. Gold Fury, for the first time this game, going to go eUnited's way. Extend that gold in their coffers, working towards their 5th and 6th items now already. Yes, I did just say 5th and 6th items.
15 minutes in.
15 minutes in a game. This has been pretty rough. We were mentioning at the start of this cast that eUnited high mechanical gods to play.
Yep.
But if you're on point and you're landing all the abilities, you're not going to have a terrible time.
No. And Ven has had a lot of combos that he's landed by himself. PBM has also set him up for a lot of combos. Athena Nox is just so difficult to deal with. Scream, despite his scoreline not being particularly impressive, has hit his fair share of abilities as well.
Poor Shank leaps away to safety, but the ultimate will follow, not just one, but two. And now Benji's in the sky, ends up looking for a new target and finds Addons in the jungle. Need a few more of those, I guess, to try and get through this eUnited lineup, as now they pressure mid once more.
Scream still without a kill. Worth mentioning, at least.
Just keep poking that one in. Zaz in trouble as PandaCat jumps all the way towards this Phoenix here. Nearly got himself in a bit of trouble, so jumps in the wall. Phoenix under pressure as Scream doing his best split push. Loki impersonation, I hear.
Bastet is the one that he would prefer to have at this point, but
maybe Loki in the game too.
Yeah, maybe. That's right. Zhong has to use purification beads. Zaze was there, I promise, just a minute ago, but no longer. Ven uses again that dash to get inside his support to make sure that he's safe.
Shank falls for his 8th time. He's in the sky. Comes Addons looking for the kill on Venenu, but a good Aegis and beads. Turns that around once more. Oscha, though, gets a double kill. PandaCat says, I can do that too, putting him at 11. I don't know if Panda can solo this Titan on his own right now, but he's taking a bit of damage from Oscha for free.
Taunt in for PBM, and there goes the Zhong.
He got him.
Surprise, surprise. eUnited looking real good here in game 1.
Do you reckon it's the kill for PandaCat this one? No, Scream says.
He got one.
Not going to have the chance to do that. He will use his ultimate secure, and game 1 in under 18 minutes is going to go to eUnited.
They're getting close to resetting this if PandaCat doesn't. Yeah, he's got to use Aegis, and now the Titan resets to 4K health, and now they can't end.
Thanks, boys.
Neat.
It's the first time I was on a game-winning play. It was wrong. Ever.
That's really your first wrong call?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
First time I've ever closed a game out and been wrong. I've actually been so close, but I've actually always been the one that's gone, wait, they may just be, and then this aren't, and I was like, there's no way.
There is if
Tekzy United.
They troll. Look at Ven, he knows.
Oh, they all know, I think. Fire Giant is available for eUnited to take down here if they wish to at this moment in time. I don't think they necessarily need it at this moment. One thing I will notice about builds, though, Ryan, is Choose a Focus is very all over the place. Basically, every
magical damage dealer has it.
That's including the Guardians.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, certainly for Morrigan, you're used to seeing that for her just because she needs cooldown, because Changeling is the longest ultimate cooldown in the entire game.
Yep.
Venenu's a low cooldown mage that really wants to do it. Is PandaCat. Okay, he's going to head to the left instead. Thought he was going to try and kill Addons or Tekzy rather, after his ultimate was down. But it is a little bit surprising for the Zhong Kui. I feel like that should be a pen boots option where you're trying to chunk through that little bit of protection that Warrior's Blessing gives Benji, that the Runic Shield gave him as well. I would have rather seen pen boots for him, but otherwise, I think it's probably correct for all these other characters to have cooldown boots.
2 gods on the left-hand side from United, just going to take that tier 2 tower down. 3 in the mid lane, pressuring Zaze. Well, the whole of Athletico are here now, and United may have got a little bit greedy for their own doing. Mike is trying to keep Venenu alive, but Mike's going to fall in replace. Benji did take down Zaze during that, though. But Venenu, now under pressure, has to ult, still taking a lot of poke. Double kill for Tekzy. Benji is also in trouble, has to take to the sky, and he will look down on Shank.
Oh, Shank fell quickly. Tekzy doesn't have an ultimate here, and Addons use his just to get to safety, I believe, as Scream continues the chase underneath this right side Phoenix. Benji blinked forward, ultimate misses from Scream, but PandaCat back on his favorite little stoop.
That was a good juke, honestly, from Tekzy. Let's give him the credit.
Juke.
30-11 then. Benji into the Titan room, looking for the kill onto Oscha. PandaCat healing up in the middle lane. Benji gets Oscha and dips back out again before he runs out of health. Ooh. But the airstrike's good.
But Zaze immediately turns around. PandaCat beads and dashes through Addons right next to Benji, and he finds him through the stealth as Scream does knock him down. PandaCat down to a sliver of health, but Shank just can't quite get the bite.
Still, no other Phoenix is taken yet. PandaCat working on the Titan once more. The right-hand Phoenix under pressure.
Mid Phoenix is going to respawn.
In goes PolarBearMike looking for the pressure. The taunt is good. The follow-up is even better. PolarBearMike gets his team a deicide, and the Titan, surrounded by 5 minions, may fall here.
I'd
see how I didn't do it that time, because I saw it.
You're not going to be able to end again because Scream decided to go for right Phoenix instead of just ending the game.
2 Phoenixes down, though. That's the main thing. Tekzy.
Only 1 Phoenix down because it respawned.
In the mid lane. You are right. but it won't be too long as Sashin from Scream onto Oscha. Card out in response though, and the ghosts are into play. Bit of damage, but not a whole lot. It's level 14 versus a level 20 and a level 16. And yes, that's a solo laner versus a support. The levels are the wrong way round.
Not a lot of damage for Zhong at this point. Some decent control with the Gem of Isolation,
definitely.
so it will slow him down. In fact, Scream used his beads there to get away from the slow from that Zhong ultimate.
I'd just like Athletico to look at this game and go, okay, so where was the real issue? Clearly, PandaCat got off to a very big start on the left-hand side, picking himself up a couple of kills. Is the Cerberus pick bad or good? I think the god itself is good, but I think against the composition of what the push was going to be like in that dual lane, it wasn't necessarily the best pick they could have had there.
Agreed.
What would have been better, though?
I would have preferred to see Terra's really bad into this composition. I wouldn't have liked that as PandaCat.
I get outplayed it. He might get outplayed.
Yeah, he just got killed there on the left and uses Aegis at the same time. eUnited does get fire on the other side, but now Tekzy is getting chased down very quickly.
And down the left-hand side, you can see Screammmmm PolarBearMike go, and there's no minions here for them to help take this Phoenix down. The rest of eUnited, well, 2 members of eUnited are going to be pushing down the mid lane at the moment to group up for this weakened Phoenix again. This game could have been over at 17 minutes.
Could very easily could
if
have
not
been.
earlier.
It should have been over at that point. I think Ganesh would have been my preferred support pick into this composition. You can silence Nox out of her channeled 1. You can silence Naja after the sash to prevent the ultimate from coming through. I think that would have been the best option.
Venenu fighting against 3 surrounding the card from Oscha is down, whittling them away, and Oscha will exercise for an additional kill. He's up to 4 now so far. eUnited treating this more like an arena game than a competitive competition so far.
It's 36 kills in 22 minutes. I mean, they've gotten a lot of them. Mike is 4-2 and 22, which is a scoreline that you will probably come close to never seeing again in competitive Conquest.
Not from Mike and not from a support. Both of those statements are fact.
4-2 and 22. That's a lot of assists.
It's pretty good, but it's still not 100%.
It is not 100%.
It's missed 10 kills.
Yeah, because like PandaCat flew over and got a double in solo where Mike didn't use his ult. And
to note, PandaCat, 28 kills he's been involved in this game.
That's a lot. That's a lot, especially for an ADC where a lot of the action wasn't happening in dual lane. And that's why Chernobog is considered one of the best right now because of his ability to affect the map.
As the tournament goes on, do we expect to see more Chernobog bans?
Yes, I think so. It's interesting because really he didn't get played quite as much during the final few weeks of the summer split, but just based on the first 3 games we've seen here today, it seems like
well, big fan of the right-hand side. PandaCat's going to go down very early from the all-in from Athletico. It's pretty solid. Tekzy to the skies. Benji dunks down on Addons, who's in that Zhong form right now, but he won't last too long. The actual Zhongi, Oscha, healing in the base at the moment. Benji whittles his way up there to pick up Zaze with the help of PolarBearMike and, of course, Venenu. The Titan slowly just dealing with people coming into the base. Fire minions whack away on the Titan so far, but still the game continues.
Titan only down to about half HP. Shank finds 2 with that Stygian Torment, bringing them deeper into the Titan room. Everyone's pretty low here for eUnited, though no one's quite as low as Shank.
No one's going to be quite as low as Oscha in a second, but Benji needs to heal up a little bit. The Titan is slowly falling, so I'm going to keep saying it. Venenu picks up Oscha, is still PolarBearMike fighting, but finally, the players seem to have realized that they can end the game and have done so. eUnited take game 1.
There you go.
I didn't have another word for it. I was sort of thinking like convincingly, I guess is the only word I could really think of.
Trollingly, I suppose would be the word. You remember when Mike on the world stage was like 2 if I'm trolling?
Yeah.
That's what he meant.
Right.
It would take 4 tries to kill the Titan.
The one thing I was worried about with Athletico though is the lack of comms there. You can see the faces, the heads had dropped with how game 1 went. They're all sitting kind of quietly now, just listening to their coach, which is an important thing, obviously, listen to the coach, but back to the drawing board one more time for these guys now.
Very much so, and that can be a demoralizing way to lose when the enemy team is toying with you and you know it, and there's nothing you can really do about it. I mean, that is hard to win, but I do think you get such a better boost if you just change 2 things about that game. Don't give PandaCat Chernobog, don't give Cerberus support. Like, all of a sudden, that whole game might have a different complexion. So, I don't know. I think that Athletico, when you get beat that badly, it hurts, but at the same time, you can go, nah, things went wrong. It wasn't like we were absolutely outclassed. They were, but you can kind of tell yourself, like, it's because if we just change these things, that's the only reason that happened. And sometimes that's what you need mentally.
They don't look terrible in terms of team fights, but we never got to see a real team fight.
Right.
So maybe game 2 could be a different story. You guys at home, though, Bit of a formality here, but get to vote for MVP. We're not even going to discuss ourselves who we think it is because you guys should really know based off how that game 1 went. Game 2 then, Chernobog ban and maybe something a little bit different from Athletico.
That's all I need to see changed from Athletico. I thought the Tekzy played very well in the Ratatoskr. Addons, I'm not in love with the Morrigan right now in this current meta, but he made it work.
He did.
I mean, fine by me. Also, I don't need to see Zhong solo anymore. We saw it there. I mean, it's a good pick, but clearly Benji is so unconcerned with what he was doing that he was able to play Thanatos and basically run the game.
Let's get it back to the desk then to break down that quick game and get on to game 2, I guess.
eUnited continuing to be successful. Tom and Toli here bringing you the business. And as we look at game 1, I think this one was pretty cut and dry. At least it seemed that way, but they just couldn't kill the Titan.
eUnited were having a little bit too much fun probably, and against this team I guess it might work, but against some other teams might not have the same success. PandaCat popping off that game with a Chernobog. If I'm Athletico, I'm looking at all this global pressure on the eUnited side, and I'm at least stripping away the Chernobog. Maybe not all those tools, but definitely the Hunter.
Yeah, PandaCat had a fantastic game next to PolarBearMike. Just the ability to just take care of whatever he wanted to do. Look at that, 24,000 player damage in juxtaposition to everybody else, just way ahead of the pack. Benji over there on the solo Thanatos playing just another assassin. Not exactly playing the traditional tanky solo Thanatos that we're used to seeing. Built hard secret and all that nonsense, having a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, everybody looking strong. PandaCat on top of the world here. He's going to be your most valuable player.
I mean, for a majority of the game, he had 100% kill participation. From a Hunter perspective, near impossible to do, but when you're playing Chernobog, able to use the Living Nightmare to assist Benji that's getting dove under his own tier 1 tower, you're able to participate in all the fun activities.
Yeah, Zhong started to get things going, and then PandaCat quickly put an end to that one. Thanatos. That's Addons over there. Nice job. The Morrigan was nice. I did like some of the shots. We saw the transition into the Ratatoskr, which was fun to watch. Really enjoyed some of that. But the team...